This conference will now be recorded.
Good. So the first thing is the terminology what we used to follow here is problem solving. Problem solving. And can anybody yes can give the you can unmute and you can say, can anybody? What is actually a problem solving? So whenever you learn any programming language, you start learning from the problem solving. What is a problem solving? So problem solving is nothing but it's a process of formulating a problem and finding the solution and expressing the solution. That means, see guys, so formulating the problem, finding the solution to the problem, and expressing the results of the problem. That so problem solving, exact technical definition given by the Python programming is the process of and formulating a problem. Suppose if it is a mathematical related problem solving, then we are going to write some equations. Write some equations. If the problem is related to science like say physical science or chemistry, we are going to write formulas. Yes. So problem solving is nothing but process of formulating a problem and finding solution to the problem and expressing the solution. Expressing the solution means providing an output, result, the result of the problem, the output of the problem, which is printed to the screen. Yes. So fine guys, problem solving is a process of formulating a problem, finding the solution to a problem, and expressing the solution as an output or a result. Yes, this is the first thing. Yes, and next is, and you should understand about the next very important terminology. Yes, high level language. Good. And please tell me that. And Shankar, can you please tell me that? You can unmute and as you can tell me what is a high level language. We have already discussed this. So as soon as the question answer he has left. Okay. What about Hardeep?
High level language is a human understandable language.
It's not hello. It's not audible from your side. Very good. A formal language easy to understand by the programmer or a developer. So in our technical terminology, how we write is very good. Say a programming language. See guys, a programming language like Python, a programming language like Python, and say that is designed to, guys, a programming language like a Python that is designed to be and easily understandable by human. Yes, and try to understand, guys. High level programming language is a programming language like Python that is designed to be easily understandable by the human. Yes, so that means the humans to read and write. Humans can read and write. So good. And next, next terminologies say low level language. Guys, you know, it's a programming language which is designed to be understandable by computer or a machine. Yes. So a programming language that is designed to be understandable by and say we can say computer or machine. Yes. Guys, remember, a low level language is a programming language that is designed to be easy for a computer to execute. Okay. And we can also call, guys, what is the other terminology, guys, for the low level language? You can say machine language. Yes, low level language can also be called as a machine language. That's good. Now, and the fourth one is, guys, very important to understand is, say, source code. The next terminology is source code. So can anybody can tell me what is the source code? Good. Guys, a program in a high level language, and
It is
before
open to everyone, sir.
that is open source.
Okay.
Open source means that is available to everyone. Yes, it's available to everyone. That's called open source. I'm talking about the source code. Why? Because in upcoming classes we use this terminology very frequently. That, yes, somebody has answered. It means program friendly language. Okay, that's good. Say source code is nothing but, guys, a program which is written in high level language. A program which is written in a high level language. Yes, that is called as a source code. That means as a programmer or a developer, you're going to write the code using some high level language like Java, Python, .NET. Yes, that code is called as a, whatever the code you write in a file, yes, that is called as source code. They simply say a program and which is written in high level language is called as a source code. We can also use one more word, a program in a high level language before being compiled. Yes, so source code means a program and which is a program which is written in high level language is known as source code. Source code in bracket I'm writing and say and before compilation yes, or interpretation. Yes, remember, so before compilation or before interpretation. So you people write the source code. You as a developer, you write the source code using Python. Yes, that is called as a source code. Good. And the next very important terminology, what you have to understand is, guys, say, so binary code. So can anybody please answer in the chat box? What is a binary code? It's good. So binary code is nothing but, guys, after compilation or after interpretation, whatever the code get generates, compiler is a translator, interpreter is also a translator. After translating, yes, your source code gets translated into machine understandable code. That code is called as binary code or object code, or we call it as a machine code. Why we are using the term called binary code means, as machine can understand only the binary digits like zeros and ones. Yes? So binary code means, guys, say, simply we can say the output of compiler or interpreter. The output of compiler or interpreter, and which is interpreter, which is understandable by machine or computer. Yes, and say, and it is also known as, say, machine code or and object code. Yes, and there is a one more very important terminology, guys. Bytecode. So anybody guess, please? Can anybody come up with the bytecode? See, source code, binary code, and bytecode. Bytecode is not same as a binary code. Binary code means represented in zeros and ones. This is already given in the document. What is bytecode? Hardeep, can you please come up with? No problem. Just whatever you know, you just say. That's not the problem at all. Good. Okay, I will tell you. Don't worry that. Say a bytecode is an intermediate code. A bytecode is an intermediate code which is represented in bytes. Intermediate code which is represented in bytes. Yes, and say, and one more point. Say one more point you have to understand. Say, guys, remember a bytecode is an intermediate code which is represented in bytes, not in binary format. Bytes format, you know, integer occupies 2 bytes or 4 bytes. Yes, and character occupies a single byte, like that. A bytecode is an intermediate code which is represented in bytes format, and here, and bytecode is not understandable by computer. See, I'll explain you in detail, guys, don't worry. And bytecode is not understandable by computers or and machines. Yes, bytecode is not understandable by computers or machine. That is a call. I am using the word called intermediate code. That means here, if you try to understand, see guys. Maybe better I will use okay. And you guys here, when here you will say source code. You first build the source code and using high-level programming language, and here now source code gets translated into, say, bytecode. I'm talking about in the case of Python. Yes, bytecode is going to be translated. Then, yes, This bytecode is further translated into binary code. Now finally, the binary code will be as executable. Now tell me guys, here source code we have a bytecode and binary code. Now tell me that which is there are three codes we written here: source code, bytecode, and binary code. Yes, tell me now, bytecode comes under intermediate code, guys. That means between source code and binary code. Now bytecode is known as an intermediate code. Intermediate code. Yes. So it will translate to bytecode and then it translate to binary code. Now you can ask the question, sir, who will translate this source code to bytecode? Then who will translate bytecode to the binary code? Yes, so guys, and specifically if you look at this Python architecture, yes, we have one virtual machine. We have one virtual machine called PVM, Python virtual machine. It is a special program. PVM is a special program. That program acts as a virtual machine. Yes, that PVM acts as a compiler. PVM is act as a compiler. I'm using the words, remember guys, compiler. Yes, that PVM is a compiler or a program. Yes, that program actual as a virtual machine that is responsible for translating the source code into the bytecode. Yes, guys, once again I'm saying, when you install the Python software, yes, the Python software, you'll get a special program called PVM. That is called as Python virtual machine. We shortly call it as abbreviated word called PVM. That PVM is a compiler that is responsible for translating the source code into bytecode. Yes. Now, once it is translated into the bytecode, yes, now that bytecode is further translated into binary code. Yes, then who is responsible for translating this bytecode into the binary code? That is called interpreter. Python interpreter. There is one more special program you will get when you install the Python software. That interpreter is responsible for translating this bytecode into the finally binary code, which is binary code is an executable code, finally understandable by the machine. That yes. Now tell me, and simple question I'm asking, is Python slow? Limitations point of view, Python limitations. You always talking about advantages of the Python. Limitations point of view, is the Python is slower as compared to the C, C++ or Java? I'm just asking. Yes, is the Python is slower? Can anybody can ask? Can anybody can? Good. Yes, yes, yes. Katable Rakesh, PVM. PVM stands for Python virtual machine. It's a special program which is act as a virtual machine which is responsible for translating that. Yes. Sir, at last, can you please tell me about difference between compile and execution and running meaning? Okay, sure, I'll tell you. Anyway, these terminologies will get it. Okay. Hardeep, you're saying maybe means I don't understand, Hardeep. Can you please? Yeah, if you consider C Python, standard Python, if you consider standard Python, which was developed by Python Software Foundation, yes, that execution goes in this pattern only. source code to bytecode, bytecode to binary code, binary code to final execution. That yes. So C Python point of view, it is a slow, but there is a one more distribution of the C Python that's called PyPy. Yes. So PyPy is more faster. That execution criteria is different. We are just talking about C Python point of view, all these things. That's called standard Python or C Python. That. Hardeep, what do you want? Can you unmute and you can say? Good. Anyway, that is actually the meaning of guys. The bytecode. A bytecode is an intermediate code which is represented in bytes. Bytecode is not understandable by the computers or machines. Yes. So this is one of the very important terminology what we come in Python bytecode. Yes. So good. The next important terminology is executable. Yes, can anybody talk about executable? Simple, guys. Executable is nothing but, guys. Okay, Hardeep, I will discuss with you that. Yes. My last question is, what is the Python is slow? Is Python is slow as compared to other programming languages like Java, .NET, and C, C++? The answer is yes. Yes. Why? Because you have seen the lot of translations are involved. Yes. By source code to bytecode, bytecode to binary code, then finally execution. So Python is slow as compared to other programming languages. That's called limitation of the Python. Yes, we are always discussing about advantages of the Python. Yes, but there are some limitations also there. One major limitation of the Python is speed. Yes, but what Python community is saying, open source community is saying is certainly we have some kind of implementations in future version. Yes, and they are focusing on and how to improve the execution speed of the Python programming. We hope so that in future we'll get and we'll get good interpreters or the compilers. Maybe that executes the programs more faster. Now, guys, I'm asking one more question. What is executable? So, very simple. Executable means it is another name given to binary code, object code, or machine code. That is called executable. Now, tell me, in our last diagram, yes, see guys, now this is called executable. Binary code is called executable, and the last box is called executable machine, or you can say simply, otherwise without confusion, I will remove the word called executable, just machine. Yes. So guys, and here in Python glossary, executable means another name for object code or binary code or machine code. Yes, executable means it is another name given for object code, binary code, or machine code. Why? Because it is a final executable code on computer or machine that. Yes, sometimes we use the word called executable. Yes, so next, and one more terminology, guys, and same, I think everybody knows here. Yes, it's very basic terminology. Program. You always say, I've written the Python program. Yes, with 10 lines of the code, or 20 lines of the code, or 100 lines of the code. Yes, a program is nothing but, guys, your set of instructions that specifies computational task. Yes, say, I can say, a set of instructions that specify to computer. Say, a set of instructions that specify to perform a task by a computer. Yes, a set of instructions. Good. Now, I'm asking the one more very important question. What is a bug? This is one more very important terminology we are frequently going to be, yes, used in programming languages. What is a bug? Can anybody say, guys, what is a bug?
Correction.
Hello? Bug.
Verifying mistakes.
Verify?
Mistakes or errors.
Yes, that is true, guys. So, a bug is nothing but the presence of error or a fault in computer program is known as a bug. See, what I'm saying is a presence of error, or we can call it as a fault. Yes, in program is known as, yes, bug. The presence of error or fault in program is known as a bug. Good, guys. Next, one more very important terminology, error or fault or defect. You can also call it as a defect, but defect is generally not used for programming languages. For good, Shankar, bug is something is not perform well as user expect. Okay, good. The good definition. The presence of error or fault in the program is known as a bug. Now, one more very important terminology, guys, we use in development called, say, debugging. Yes, you said bug. Now, What is debugging? Guys, debugging is nothing but a systematic process of discovering the bugs or defects and fixing them so that the program behaves, okay? The program behaves as you expect. Yes, the program behaves as you expect, or a program behaves reliably. Yes. What is a reflection, rectification of the bug? Very good. Yes, that's very simplistic, but technically we speak, debugging is yes, debugging is systematic. Debugging is a systematic process of discovering bugs. Debugging is a systematic process of discovering the bugs and not only identifying the bugs, guys, fixing them. Yes, fixing them so that the program behaves reliably. Yes, this is called, guys, debugging. Debugging is nothing but systematic process of discovering the bugs and fixing the bugs so that the program behaves reliably as per your expectations. That means exact outputs you can get it. Yes, good. And the next one more very important question will be asked by the interviewer is, yes, the next question is as same types of errors. Guys, types of errors. Good. Can anybody come up with this? Types of errors. Guys, in any programming language, not just good Shankar, not just Python programming, guys, in any programming language, and there are three and types of errors. You can find out there are three types of errors. Yes. Shankar, indentation is different. Okay. That's a one type of error called indentation error. Yes, very good. Compile time errors, runtime errors. Yes. And programming logic related errors. Yes. There are three types of errors, guys. And the one is known as say yeah, once the first thing is called as syntax error. First thing you have to understand about the syntax error, and the second thing is yes, and semantic errors, and third one is yes, runtime errors. Yes, yes, see, syntax errors, semantic errors, and the runtime errors. Guys, could you please tell me that, yes, when syntax errors get occurs, yes, when, what is, okay, the next question is, Yes, what is syntax error? Sorry guys, keyboard is problem. Guys, you tell me that. What is the syntax errors? I hope you guys, sir, till now, up to types of errors, are you clear about the terminologies? Could you please everybody can be respond up to types of errors? Are you clear about the definitions? Okay, good. Yes, good, Sai. If the program is incorrect, we get the syntax errors. So we generally say as a syntax error means an error in the program that makes it impossible to parse. Yes, that means if syntax error is present, if the syntax error is present, then can we compile the program? Can we interpret the program? Can we interpret the line? No, very good. No, it is not possible. Sir, if the syntax is, sorry, if the syntax error presents, if the syntax error presents, then yes, your program is impossible to parse. Parse means compilation, or you can say interpretation of that particular statement. Yes. So guys, a syntax error means, and a technical definition, sorry, say an error in the program that makes it an error in the program that makes it impossible parse. Yes, an error in the program that makes it impossible to parse. That means no compilation can takes place. Yes, so compilation. Hello, Shankar, Hardeep, could you able to hear me? Sai, okay then. Yes, I think some Katepalli Ramesh, it's audible from my side. It's everything is fine because I check now itself also audio. Shankar, can you please, okay, you can check from your side. I think Shankar, you were 2 times, so in my list is showing Shankar is off. See, you can check your audio device, which one you have used, computer audio or external audio. Okay. So guys, A syntax error is nothing but error in the program that makes it impossible to parse. Here parsing means, guys, compilation or interpretation. Good. And the next I want to ask you, very good. And this is most of the people generally used to get confused about this. The next one, sorry. And guys, semantic error. Could anybody come up with the semantic error? Guys, semantic error means, guys, very simple to say. It's something you written the wrong logic. Logic of the program is wrong. Suppose when you're calculating the interest, guys, take a banking domain application. There is one program called, okay, interest calculation, and interest calculation has some formula, but the formula was wrongly defined. If you define the formula wrongly defined, rather than getting 600 rupees as an interest, you are getting 60 rupees. Yes, what I am saying is, guys, remember, actual interest to be calculated is, actual interest is 600 rupees, but your formula is calculating as 60 rupees. That means there is some problem in the logic. Yes, that kind of programming logic related problems, programming business logic related problems or bugs are called as semantic errors. That's the reason whenever you write any formulas in the programming language, you need to verify that twice, that yes, whether parentheses are closing, open brackets are closing properly or not. Are you giving the right percentage calculations or not? Yes, this is called validating the business logic. We call validating the formula or business logic. In case any as and if you do something mistake in writing the business logic, those kind of errors are called semantic errors. You know, guys, out of the three errors, very difficult to identifying error is semantic errors. Why? Because computer can throw, yes, if there is any syntactical mistake at the time of compilation, it will throw an error. This is syntax error. You can easily understand. At the time of executing the program, yes, if any errors occurs, those called runtime errors. Those errors also you can identify very clearly. So you can distinguish syntax errors and runtime errors more easily. Why? Because your software can identify those things. But semantic errors means those are the mistakes committed by the programmer in writing the business logic. Yes, guys. So these things, computer cannot understand those things. And somebody, Shankar, from my side, everything is fine, Shankar, because I asked some other guys also, they're saying, yes. Good, guys. So if the output is not expected as per the programmer, those are called as a semantic errors. Guys, semantic error means an error in the program. Guys, an error in the program, an error in the program that makes it do something, an error in the program that makes it do something other than, yes, what the programmer yes, please read the technical definition what I given. Semantic error. an error in the program that makes it to do something other than what the programmer is intended. Sir, the programmer is expecting 600 rupees as an interest calculation, but your program is doing some other thing. That's what. Yes, error in the program that do something other than what you are expecting. That's what the meaning of that. That is a pure technical definition what I given to you. That. Sorry, guys. Yes, and the next and the important definition is, guys, runtime error. In the interviews, you'll get more questions if you go as a pure Python programmer or a developer. Yes, you'll get a lot of questions in this errors part only. And tomorrow also, when you write the programs, you should be able to resolve the errors on your own. So you're going to spend more time on resolving errors. Yes, so good. And runtime error. Guess what is runtime error? An error is that occurs until program has started to execute. Yes, and that means, guys, an error, yes, that is going to be, okay, the error that is going to be thrown at the time of executing your program. Runtime error. Yes, that means, see, simple to say, syntax error and runtime error means, yes, and syntax error means an error which occurs at the time of compilation or at the time of interpretation. Yes, while compilation, yes, if compiler or interpreter identifies there is a mistake in writing the program. Syntax error means what? A program is not strictly following the rules of the programming language. Syntax error means a programmer, yes, who is not following the rules given by the programming language. Programming language to programming language, rules are different. So if you look at the Python programming, some rules will be defined. As per the rules, you have to write the program. If you violate the rules, it will throw the syntax errors. Syntax errors are thrown at the time of compilation. At the time of compilation, your compilers or interpreters, it will be check the rules, syntactical rules. Yes, then what is a runtime error? Runtime error occurs only at the time of execution. That means after compilation. If program is compiled successfully, if the program is interpreted successfully, then the next is execution. As once the execution, at the time of execution, sometimes an error will be occurred. Yes, and most of the errors are, guys, here. Okay, the errors like out of memory. Suppose you need some memory to execute the program, but there is some insufficient memory is available on your system. That's called out of memory errors. We call out of memory. Yes, means your program is expecting some KBs of memory, but that is not available in the system. At that time, runtime error occurs. Yes, or sometimes I think everybody knows about zero division error. Say something you written 13 by 0. Yes, that is not understandable by computer at the time of execution. So zero division errors. Or there are many runtime errors will be there. There is one separate topic in Python programming language. In advanced Python, we are going to get the topic called exception handling. Yes, those exception handling is only for the runtime errors, not for syntax errors. Exception handling. That exception handling, again, one more terminology comes, guys, exception. Exception handling is only related to the runtime errors. Yes, so how to handle the runtime errors? That good. And okay, I hope you guys okay understand this. And in tomorrow's class, okay, maybe I will come up with some more terminologies and characteristic features of the Python programming. Once these topics completed, then it's better to go ahead with the installation part. Why? Because I changed my course plan. That the reason, once you know this, the Python basics part, then better we can understand those things. That yes. And here Rakesh,
Yes, sir.
Rakesh, are you interested to continue, Rakesh?
Yes.
Yesterday you did not attend that. Okay, that's the reason I asked them not to call the people. You're missing some documents also. Maybe I think today I will send those documents with all these terminologies, everything. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So guys, I'm leaving this meeting, and somebody asked the question. Okay, Sai. Okay, and just I will call you Sai. Okay, and I will clarify your that like compile and execute and run. Execute and run is same only. Sai, can you speak with me that? Please unmute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sai, tell me.
Sir, I have doubt about compile,
Yeah.
execute, and run, sir. Is
Okay.
it? Yeah. I want about clarity, sir.
Yes, yes. See here, compilation means, so remember, why compilation we are going to do is to verify the syntax rules given by a particular programming language. See, Java has some kind of standard rules will be there. Yes. You know, in Java, if you don't declare the data type of a particular variable, it's going to throw error. Tell me, Sai.
Sir, once repeat it, sir.
In Java, I'm talking about Java, not Python. In Java, when you're writing a data type of the variable, is it compulsory to mention the data type? Yes. Okay. Suppose if you forget to mention the data type, then what happens? Sai, it will throw error. Yes. So that means at the time of compilation of the Java program, it will throw the error. Yes. So compilation time errors are called as syntax errors. Yes. Compilation time, what are the errors are thrown? Those are called as a compilation syntax errors. Yes. So why compilation we do? Your question is, what is compile? Why compilation is required? What is the guarantee that a programmer has followed the standard rules given by the programming language? Yes, you written, okay, suppose you written 10 lines of the code. What is the guarantee those 10 lines are followed the guidelines given by the program? Or what is the guarantee that you strictly followed the programming rules? For that, we do compilation. Yes, for that, we can use compiler or we can use interpreters. Yes, even interpreter also will check the rules. Not see, you know, it is only translator. Yes, that's not the mean that only translates it. It will verify the syntactical rules. Your compiler will verify the syntactical rules. Your interpreter will verify the syntactical rules. If everything is syntactically correct, then only translation will occur. Yes, translation occurs if everything is fine as per the guidelines of the programming language. Even if you write a programming in Python, yes, you should follow some strict guidelines given by the Python. Yes, so that's called compiler. What's the compilation will do? Good. Here, Sai, according to your question, execute and run. Yes. execution is calling is nothing but a, that's called running the program only. Yes. Then because I did not get the execute or executable. Sai, can you speak out? You can please unmute and you can speak out, or otherwise you can just in the chat box.
Execute, sir.
Execute. Execute is nothing but a
Yeah.
what? Running the program. Executable is nothing but a object code. Execute means running the program. Yes. While running the program, any error occurs, those are called as a runtime errors. I think maybe better, Sai, we can discuss through offline. Okay, I'll call you just within a, okay, once this meeting end up. Okay, I'll call you and I will discuss with you, Sai.
Okay, sir.
Hardeep,
Thank you.
Hardeep, are you clear about this concept?
Sir,
Hardeep, are
small
you
doubt,
clear
sir.
about the concept?
Hello.
Hello?
Sir, small doubt, sir.
Yeah, please, Sai, tell me.
Object code and source code both are same, sir.
No, Sai. No, Sai. Yes? Object code is different and source code is. Source code means a program which is written in high level programming language. Yes? That is understandable by the human. Sai, are you going to write program? Yes? Yes? If you write a program, that is called as a source code. Yes? Object code means a code which is understandable by the machine. See, your source code cannot directly understandable by your computer. Source code means a program which is written in human understandable, okay, format. Source code is nothing but a human understandable format, but human understandable format cannot be understood by your computer. So that, yes, we are going to translate that source code into what? Object code. Object code is nothing but a binary code or a machine code which is understandable your computer. Okay, Sai? Fine. Thank you, guys. And tomorrow some more glossary points are there. We'll discuss. And after that, I'll discuss Python characteristic features. Then I'll start discussing the installation part. That. Okay, guys. And tomorrow we'll meet it. Okay. I think there are 4 members. Rakesh, and please don't miss the class. Okay. Rakesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please and try to maintain every day. Just 1 hour time you try to spare it. Okay. Fine, guys. And tomorrow we'll meet. Thank you. And have enjoyed learn with, okay, Pylabs. And tomorrow, okay, we'll meet.